When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0. Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. If you like this type of content, smash the like button and subscribe for future videos and updates that I do post on my community tab frequently. If you want to get access to my content early, check out my Discord. This is my Zombie Apocalypse Academia, Part 5, Zombie Horde. Once Dobby, Toga, and Izuku drag Eraserhead from outside and inside the cabin and laid him on the bed. After his wounds was taken care of by Deku, or Izuku, who's the only medical train in the group. Because of the brief medical training he got at the academy. Deku learned all sorts of unique skills, attending that military school. Eventually, they begin to watch over the pro hero in shifts. Eventually, it was Izuku's turn to watch over the pro hero. He sat on the wooden chair in front of the couch by a little bit away and began to clean his gun while the other two were asleep in one of the many rooms upstairs. A few hours later, Eraserhead shot up only for him to feel extremely dizzy. Relax, hero. You're still alive, for now. As Izuku slammed the magazine into the bottom of the gun and cocking it. Eraserhead can't really see straight, but he noticed he's inside on a couch. He noticed his injuries has been all cleaned up and taken care of. Where am I? You're in a cabin somewhere in the woods. I'm going to ask you some questions, and if I don't like what I hear, I'm going to shoot you in your skull. In other means, I'm going to kill you. Are you alone? Are you a lone survivor, or are you part of a bigger group? Eraserhead would rather not tell Izuku about his group, but yet again, even if he told him, it's not like that doesn't mean he's going to tell him the location where his group made home base. So he finally decided to tell somewhat of a truth, but withdrawing certain information. Yes, I'm part of a larger group of survivors. Good. Now, I do hope you're not some sort of scout. Might let you go. I can't have you go running back to your group and attacking us. We wouldn't do anything like that, as Eraserhead was a bit assaulted by the accusations of the green-haired kid. That's good. I believe you. Out of curiosity, what if you didn't believe me? I would have shot you in the head. Now please enlighten me exactly what you were running from. And judging by those injuries, you clearly came across something hostile. And I'm not talking about the zombies. Can't tell you much. The safety of the group I belong to comes first. But when I was on one of my scouting missions, I was spotted. I was spotted by a hostile survivor group. Then the horde came. A zombie horde is coming this way. Izuku's eyes widened slightly as his eyes quickly narrowed. Just to say I believe you, how big are we talking? More than 100. I don't exactly have the exact number, kid. My group has been observing the horde. It's not an immediate danger for my group, but that doesn't change the fact it's still coming this way. Dobby, what do you think? As Dobby stepped out of the shadow of the room. Even if this hero's not telling the truth, it'd be best to fortify this place. This zombie horde hit the major city yet? No, the zombie horde won't get to the city. They should get there about a week or so. Interesting. What if he says it's true, that gives us enough time to come up with something to fortify this place? Izuku, what do you want to do? I'll follow your lead on this one. Very well, we're going to fortify this place. Building a wall is way out of the question. We don't have that kind of time. I'm thinking maybe a trench around the cabin, but not sure if we have time for that as well. But we definitely need to bar up any entrance. Maybe we get our hands on some barbed wire. That would be an asset. I could always make a barbed wire fence if we get some barbed wire. That's to keep most of them out. Not the best protection, but it is have to do. We just can't catch the attention of the zombie horde. This place does have a basement area that's attached to a bomb shelter that hasn't been explored yet. Who knows what we might actually find. We actually might find something useful in there. Relax, Eraserhead. We're not going to kill you. No reason to cause unnecessary conflict. We just want to be left alone, so when you're all healed up, you're free to go. Just keep our location a secret, or I'll hunt you down and kill you myself. Racerhead wasn't oblivious to how this green hair kid talks and acts. He could easily tell that this kid, by the look of his eyes, he's killed before, and he could estimate the boy's around 14 or 15 years old. And he clearly, by the look in his eyes, has no problem killing people. He probably suspects the kid considered killing zombie and humans to be the same thing. The boy clearly has no issue in killing. He feels troubled for the child. He's probably had to do a lot of things differently since since the collapse of society. But he banished that thought in the back of his mind. Thanks, I was not looking forward to dying anytime soon. Don't we all, Hira? Dobby placed a hand on Izuku's shoulder. Why don't you go upstairs and get some rest? I'll take care of this from my end. Sure thing, Dobby. Izuku walked upstairs and walked into the room that he picked, only to see Toga sleeping in his bed. Even though there's many rooms, she prefers to sleep near him at all times. The blonde hates to be alone. Izuku didn't mind, and he's got used to her by now. As he lay down next to Toga, it didn't take Toga long to latch onto him and rest her head on his chest, as Toga has a very content facial expression on her face. Gotta say thanks for saving my ass. That was Izuku. He's the one who saw you first. And he's the one who took care of your wounds. Eraserhead was surprised because he found the bandages wrapped around his body to be quite professional. Well done. He never expected someone so young would do that. Will be able to do that. I'm surprised. I know what you mean. That kid does a lot of things that surprises me. Just relax, like Izuku said. We're not going to kill you. We don't have to. The last thing we need to do is enraging a much larger group compared to mine and Izuku's. So the kid's your boss or something? Nothing of the sort. We both are in charge. You are going to find out eventually anyways. This is a 3-man group. Izuku and myself are the 50-50 split leader of this little group. Think of it as a family unit. You meet the other member real soon. Just be warned. The third member could be quite intense. She's indeed quite batshit crazy. Eraserhead raised his eyebrow at that last remark about their third member. Need to worry about the crazy blonde. She's easily more focused on Izuku, so she probably won't notice you too much. Eraserhead started to laugh to himself a little bit, finding his situation to be quite humorous, being rescued by a bunch of villains. He could tell at least Dobby over there is a villain. Not so much on the green hair kid. I find this whole situation to be quite ironic. Not surprising before the world went to shit. You probably had a nice gig going for you. Pretty much. But the normal rules don't apply anymore. It's not about heroes and villains. It's about survival. Some adjust more quickly to the new situation than others. That Izuku kid, he most likely had to learn it the hard way. Not my story to tell, but mostly you got it correct. Next morning, Izuku walked downstairs to see Dobby leaning against the wall while Toga was clearly annoying Eraserhead by asking him all sorts of questions, not giving him enough time to even answer one of them. Izuku walked towards Toga. That's quite enough. As he grabbed the back of her collar and dragged her away. Fine party pooper. As Toga huffed and sat on the empty seat of the opposite couch in the room. Deku sat down right next to Toga and began to change Toga's bandages and replace them with new ones. After cleaning up her wound, again to be safe. There you go. I'm surprised to see someone so young that knows how to give aid like that. Learned it from school. What type of school would teach you first aid, like a field medic? A lot of kids your age don't know how to extract bullets from a human body. Before all this shit started, I was attending a military school. There was many things I learned from that academy. As Deku begins to check up on Eraserhead's wounds. So far so good. Your wounds are healing normally. No sign of an infection. I would advise you not to move too much. Would hate for you to tear up the stitches from your bullet wounds. I really didn't have the correct equipment to do it again. Thanks for patching me up. Sweat it, old man. Dobby, I'm going to check out that bomb shelter that's underneath this cabin. I have a feeling it's going to come in handy when this zombie horde finally gets here. I could tag along if you want. Thanks for the offer, but I think I got this. We need to come up with a game plan for food. Don't worry about that. There should be plenty of wildlife to hunt. Not so fast, mister. As Toga pointed her finger into Izuku's chest. You're not going to leave me behind out of the fun. I had a feeling you would say that. Here, catch. As Izuku tossed Toga a flashlight. Deku grabbed one of the walkies from the charging center and put the walkie in his pocket of his camouflage jacket. Contact me by the walkie over there if anything happens or if I take too long. Sure thing. Have fun, you two. Let's get this over with, Toga. Deku walked away, leaving the two behind. They eventually got to the doorway and walked down towards the basement. Izuku opened the door and began to walk down the wooden steps into the basement. Deku flipped the light switch, turning on the lights. When the lights flickered on, revealed a round metal hatch door leading to the bomb shelter. Izuku begins to turn the metal round wheel clockwise. As the seal was broken, as the latch was unlocked, as Izuku lifted up the hatch to reveal stairs descending down into the darkness below, Deku pointed his flashlight at the bottom of the hatch, only to see metal stairs. Deku clearly can't see the bottom. Deku calmly proceeds to descend down upon the stairs, entering the bomb shelter, as Toga followed shortly afterwards. Deku finally got to the bottom, as Toga let go as Izuku caught her in his arms, as he sat her down and turned on the flashlight to see what's in the room. They found a a light switch and try to turn it on, but nothing happened. Let's go, Toga. We most likely have to switch on the power. That means we have to go deeper. As they begin to look around with their flashlights, to see metal doors on the opposite sides of the room. Deku immediately begin to spin the metal wheel that attached to the door to unseal a pathway. As he stepped further into the corridor, tunnel basically, using the flashlight as light to lead his way. He eventually got to a decent-sized room as he sees all sorts of machines. As he saw a switch, as he flipped it on, as the machine flickered to life, as lights began to flicker all around the bomb shelter. As what power that was blocked off has access to it now? I'm guessing the basement gets power from the solar panels outside of the cabin. They must have shut it off to conserve energy. They left the power room. They walked through the hallway to get to the main chamber. He eventually found himself back into the original room he was in when he descended down the stairs, or the ladder. As he went to the opposite side of the room, entering that door after unsealing the hatch. That led into a deep hallway leading to several different rooms. As he entered the main kitchen, that have bedrooms on each side. To say, Izuku-kun, this place is quite big. It's almost like an underground house. I would have to agree. As they walk into the storage area filled with cans, food, and military rations. Let's head back up. At least we found some food. And plenty of drinking water. Let's go, Toga. What's wrong? You almost sound disappointed. I have no doubt we'll have plenty of time to kill zombies in the future. But I got a little disappointed. I thought there would be at least a couple zombies in the bomb shelter. Toga got over her disappointment. They eventually got back up to inform Dabi of the situation down in the bomb shelter. They eventually move Eraserhead down in the bomb shelter, in one of the rooms, as Deku took the barbed wire that he found in the bomb shelter and began to attach them to all the windows and doors of the cabin and make a couple of fences around the property. In preparation for the zombie horde that's coming their way. Dabi and Izuku went to gather more food after they were done hunting the wildlife. They dragged the animal corpses back to the cabin and began to harvest all of the eatable meat and get rid of the waste, keeping the pelt. And to transport all the deer meat and rabbit meat down into the bomb shelter, into the refrigerator. They immediately cut power off by making sure all the lights were shut off inside the cabin and went into the bomb shelter and sealed the door behind them by twisting the round metal wheel on the other side of the hatch. Several days has passed. It's been extremely quiet. Izuku walked into one of the rooms, with Dabi following close behind. Dabi whistled because of the advanced technology in the room, He was quite impressed by the level of technology inside this bomb shelter. What is this place? It looks like some sort of command center. Don't know. Let's find out. As Izuku flipped the switch, as several camera images appeared on the large monitor. I'll be damned. What I think there are. Live camera feeds. Apparently, whoever owned this cabin had this place around the boundaries of the forest, placed with security cameras. Very interesting. Quite impressive. With this, we'll be able to tell when the horde is coming our way. Exactly, we have the perfect warning system up currently. I'll keep watch on the monitors. Probably do this in shifts. I'll take the first shift. Well, I'll leave it to you. I'm going to get some rest. Izuku waved Dabi off and refocused his main focus back to the monitors that shows different camera feeds from the cameras scattered all around the forest surrounding the cabin. Izuku began to go through the main console while keeping an eye out on the monitor. He eventually found out where each camera was placed on the digital map of the forest surrounding the cabin. So my hunch was correct. Each camera is placed surrounding the cabin in the deep forest. This person who made this system was quite paranoid. After his shift was done, Izuku read some of those books he got from the library to get a handle on creating firearms with his quirk. By this time, Eraserhead was able to move around on his own, but still injured. Eraserhead sat down on the couch when he walked into the room. Seeing Izuku starting to create handguns using his quirk. Holy crap, you have a creation quirk? Not a full-blown creation quirk. What do you mean? My quirk was identified as a type of creation quirk. But I'm limited on what I can create. My quirk only allows me to create weapons, from swords to spears, knives, firearms, alongside on making bullets, grenades, weapons in general. That actually makes sense. That's probably why you were attending that military school. That type of quirk would be monitored heavily. You're not wrong there, Hira. Izuku began to take part of the gun to see all the mechanics were all correct. Once Izuku was satisfied, he put the gun back together as he tossed the handgun over to Eraserhead, fully loaded, just in case the zombies breached the cabin. I'm not much for firearms, but thanks. That's understandable. For once in your underground hero career, use a firearm. You always use your capture scarf and a knife. You're well informed, especially how I am was a underground hero. Let's just say it was an old hobby of mine when I was younger. It was only a phase I was going through. I don't put much stock in heroes, but that was in the past. You're quite mature for your age. I'm not deluded to our current situation we're in. I'm not so naive, not be able to see the truth. I'm not saying every hero is dirt. There are good heroes out there, but they're very limited. The rest are just as corrupt as any criminal. But like I said, that was in the past. Regardless of my negative feelings towards the heroes, we live by a new set of rules, and the old don't apply anymore. This world has become far more harsher and cruel. The strong survive, while the weak perish. I might not like it, but this is how it is, and I refuse to die. I'll use any means necessary to survive, no matter how cruel and unfair it might seem. I'm a Midoriya, and Midoriyas are survivors. So let's change the subject to something more less dark, shall we? So how are you holding up, Eraserhead? Still injured, kid, but getting better. Good, it won't be too long. I would have to agree with you. The horde should be here, if I'd take an estimate, in the next 24 hours. When they do, we'll know about it ahead of time. How so? This underground bunker, or whatever this place is, has access to several security cameras scattered all around the forest surrounding the cabin. I don't know who owned this place before world went to shit, but it's clearly impressive surveillance. Follow me. As he took Eraserhead to the command center, Eraserhead immediately saw the monitor with several camera feeds on it. Why show me this? Everyone has to pull their own weight, and I figured you're probably bored out of your mind. Having you do something will keep your mind busy. Eraserhead had no disagreements on what Izuku just said. And doing something like this wouldn't be too hard to do. Safety is in danger as well as Izuku's, so he had no complaints. He only gave him a nod. Izuku left the room, leaving Eraserhead to his own devices. I see you're already putting him to work. Of course, I can't have any freeloaders. And I did save his life. Monitoring the monitors should be efficient enough to repay us for saving his ass. Using resources we could have used in the future for better use. Deku went about his business and spent some time with Toga, making sure she was doing alright. Didn't take long for someone to rush through the living room as Dobby came rushing into the room that looks like a living room. A zombie spotted. Izuku went to the monitor room. So did Toga. To watch several zombies on the monitor walking through the forest. So it finally begins. As the sighting of the zombie horde only increased on the camera feeds on the large monitor, as Deku spotted a couple of the mutated juggernaut zombies in the large horde. And that's where we're going to stop it. I'll catch you guys in the next video.